So students, today we are going to learn about formulas, writing formulas using the valency chart. Writing formulas using valency chart. Now the chart is given in your book. Let me just show you bits and pieces of the chart first here. You will be given a valency chart where there will be a list of basic radicals and acid radicals. Now we have talked about basic radicals and acid radicals in a previous video, but let me just show you this. So you will have a chart of basic radicals, which basically means positive valency, okay? So you will see written like this: monovalent, which means valency 1, single. So you'll have many of them. I'm just showing a few. You'll have names like this: sodium, say Na plus, and you will have, say, potassium, and so on and so forth. You'll have a list of these. Say, let me show another one here. It will be copper in bracket 1, or it is also known as cuprous, Cu plus. So whoever are having plus 1, they are monovalent, or okay, monovalent, and since they are plus, they are basic radicals, okay? So we have a list of monovalent, then we have a list of okay, divalent. Say some examples are, you can get the entire list in your book. So some divalent examples will be something like calcium. You have to memorize this, okay? This is very essential. Today we'll learn how to use it. But you first must memorize the chart, okay? In the beginning you can see the chart and do, but you have to learn it, otherwise you'll suffer. It's the entirety of your class 9 and 10. Even further, you need to know the basics, and this is the very basic of how to write the formula, okay? Then in example of divalent, we can say more like magnesium, Mg2 plus, and so on. Anything having 2 and positive is 2 plus, so it's divalent, and these are all basic radicals, okay? You will have trivalent also. Let me just give you an example here. Trivalent meaning 3, phosphate, and even tetravalent, which means 4, like carbide. Okay, the entire list is given in your book. Again, I'm repeating, I'm not writing the entire list here, but you need to learn it now, okay? It's very important, it's the basic. So let's now learn how to use the chart. Learning the chart is up to you, but now you have to understand. Now you have to understand how to use the chart. Let's see. So you will be given a name, okay? Name like this, say sodium carbonate. And then you have to, if you have learned the chart, that's fine, but for now you can open the book and follow the chart. So you will find sodium. So you will see in the chart sodium is given as Na plus. Again, you look for carbonate. Now carbonate, we always write the negative radical, the acid radical, in the later half. So you search in the acid radical part, you will find carbonate, which is. Now what you will do is, you will do what we call the crisscross method, okay? So the 2 from the top of carbonate will come to the bottom of sodium, like this. Now when it comes to the bottom, we don't write anymore minus. Simply we write 2. And then here there is nothing means there is 1. But that 1 we will not write. So we'll simply write CO3. Okay, and that is the formula of sodium carbonate. So in order to write the formula, you must know from the valency chart what does sodium mean and what does carbonate mean, their valencies and their formulas themselves and symbols and formulas themselves. You have to understand that, then only you can write the formula. Now it will always not be 1 here, it can be something else also. Okay, let's see another example, similar example. Instead of sodium, if we take magnesium. Magnesium, that it will not be any. You have to find it in the chart and you will see that it is Mg2 plus. Okay, now if it is Mg2 plus, here also it will change. How will it change? Now you notice one thing, both are same here, 2 plus and 2 minus. If this is the case, in anywhere you find in writing these formulas, if they are same or if they are divisible, we can cancel out. We can cancel out this 2 and this 2 and we'll end up with only MgCO3. Okay, MgCO3. Why could we cut? Because both are same here, plus 2 and minus 2. That time it was not same. Not only if it is same, if it is divisible also we can do. We will see that later. But first of all, what if it is not 2? If it is something else, say it is aluminium. So aluminium is Al3 plus. Now if you crisscross, what will happen? They are not the same. 3 and 2 we cannot cut. So the 2 from the carbonate will come to the bottom of Al. Okay, but there is 3 on top of Al, that 3 will go down. Okay, now remember one thing, whatever this 3 is there, carbonate CO3, the 3 which is already below, it will go nowhere. It will stay where it is. Okay, we will never touch this 3, the one which is at the bottom. It will not go anywhere, it will stay where it is. Only the top ones, the valencies, we can change their place to make the formula. So what will happen, this 3 will come down here, but it is already, CO3 is already a group of atoms, okay, group of atoms. It is not only a basic radical, acidic radical, but it is also a compound radical, okay, or polyatomic radical. What does that mean? Means that it is a group of atoms. Here you can see CO3. It is not simply carbon or simply oxygen, it is a group of atoms. In this kind of case, we have to put a bracket before we write anything below. This 3 came down here, but we had to give a bracket. Okay, had it not been like this, a group of atoms, okay, a group of atoms, it had been a single atom, a simple radical, then we don't have to give a bracket. Okay, let me show that. For example, if it was not aluminum carbonate, say it was aluminum chloride. Now chloride is Cl minus. See, it is not a compound radical or it is not a polyatomic radical. Only one atom is there, Cl. So that is a simple radical. So in that case, what happens here is, on top of Cl what is there? Simply a minus, that means 1 minus, and 1 we don't write. But on top of Al what is there? On top of Al there is plus 3. That plus 3 will come down below Cl. Okay? next to Cl. However, we will not give a bracket in this case. Why? Because it is a simple radical. Okay, it is not a compound radical. Now let us elaborate on this. Let us do some more examples, then you will be clear about it. Let's see, this is, say, potassium sulfate. Pretty simple. This is one of the most simple ones. Potassium is what? K plus. Simply. Sulfate is what? SO4 2 minus. Okay, these are found in the chart, so you have to look at the chart. Then we cross it over. As it is nothing here, only plus, nothing will come down here, but there is a 2 here, 2 minus. These 2 will come to the bottom of K. So K2 SO4. This 4, you remember, is going nowhere. I have seen many times students make mistake with this 4. This is going nowhere. The 4 at the bottom will stay at the bottom. We are only changing the position of the valency on top. We are not touching the bottom one. We are never touching the bottom one. Okay. Now, if it was not potassium, say something else. Say it was chromium. You have to find this in your chart, okay, and learn it. So chromium would be Cr3 plus. Okay. Now what will happen? Now both sides we have something. That time K was only plus, so we had nothing to put here. Below sulfate. Below chromium, what will go? Below Cr, the 2 from this side will come. So it will be Cr2. However, this 3 is there. Now this 3 will go where? Here. But again you remember, SO4 2 minus. SO4, there is a group of atom here, group of atoms. It is not a simple radical, it is a compound radical or polyatomic radical. Means what? There is one S, there is 4 O. It is a group. In this kind of case, we need to give a bracket. Okay? So if you give a bracket and then the 3 we will write here. Okay? Now, if it was not such case, if it was not SO4, not a compound radical, but a simple radical, say it was something like, say, bromide. So it is, bromide is Br minus simply. Now this minus means minus 1. So 1 we don't write, so nothing will be below Cr. But this 3 will come below bromine, Br. This time we did not give bracket. Why we did not give bracket? Because it is a simple radical. That means it is only a single atom, not a group of atom. Okay. If it was a group of atom like the previous one, SO4, this is only Br. So that time we will not give bracket. Previous time when there was SO4, we give bracket. So when to give bracket, when not to give bracket. Okay. And let's see some other examples. What other complications can come? Now, say this example, aluminium phosphate. So aluminium is Al3 plus, phosphate is PO4 3 minus. Now, since both of them are having same value, this is 3 plus, this is 3 minus, we can cancel out. We do not need to write this 3 plus. So we can simply write it as, if you think in your mind that we are cancelling out, here also we can write, and we can simply write this one. Anytime when these values are exactly the same, they will cancel out. We can see other examples. For example, we can see the example of, say, calcium carbonate, calcium is Ca2 plus, carbonate is, we just saw this example earlier also, calcium carbonate. Okay, we can see other examples, calcium sulfate, anything having +2 and -2, we can cancel out. Had it been, this will be what now? The answer will be, if I cancel these things out, simply be calcium carbonate CaCO3. Nothing to write below. In the similar way, if I see calcium, say, sulfite, simply we will change it to SO3, 2 minus. Again, 2 plus and 2 minus, same. We will cancel them out. And here, don't have to write anything else. Okay? Now, sometimes it will not be exactly the same. But sometimes one is divisible by the other. Let's see that example. Say we are doing say calcium carbide, say for example. Carbide is given in your book, that's why I'm using. I think carbide is the only tetravalent one given in your book. So Ca is 2 plus, carbide is 4 minus, okay? So now it is not exactly the same, but 2 and 4 is divisible, so we can cut 2. And then we can do it like this. This 2 will come here, and there is nothing now, 1 we don't write like this. Okay, but there are other examples. This is actually, if you Google the formula of calcium carbide, you will not get this formula. Okay, you will rather get this formula. There is a story about it. There's a complication is there. I'm not delving into that. But for your purpose here, how to make the formula, you can just cut it off if it is divisible, and whatever is left will come to the bottom here. Okay, so these are the few ways of writing formula using the valency chart. Okay, you can do your exercises in the book regarding this, and if there is any problem you can contact, but first and foremost you must learn the valency chart. Without learning there is no use. Okay, you will need it in higher classes also. So thank you for today.